Hey friends, this video is going to be a video that I've been wanting to do for some time, and I think it will be pretty helpful for some of you who are interested in running, or maybe you don't run because you're afraid of maybe some injuries, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about what I do and what I enjoy doing. This video is going to be about barefoot running, which I realize has kind of toned down in popularity over the past 10 years, but I think that there are a lot of beneficial things you can learn from just a testimony like this video, because I've been doing different sorts of barefoot running for about 10 years. What inspired me to do this video is just getting a new pair of shoes, and I'll be doing a little bit of that at the end of this video, or maybe I'll just make it into a whole new video. I want to tell you a little bit about barefoot running versus traditional running with shoes that have support in them, and I've done a good amount of both. So I started running when I was about 14 years old. I would just go for a run. I did that because I was homeschooled, but I wanted to be kind of like athletic to some degree. So I would just go out for a run in my neighborhood. I also had an older brother that enjoyed running, so I would go out on runs, and I pretty much just did that because I wanted to be somewhat athletic, and I really had no idea what shoes to buy. I just used whatever tennis shoes I had available, and I would just do like a mile at a time. Fast forward a couple of years, I started to get involved in, when I was about 15, 16, I started to get involved in basketball. So I had different shoes that I would wear for basketball tennis shoes. I also had other types of tennis shoes that were just Nike, pretty much trainers, all-purpose type of trainers, and I would wear those to go. I would wear the trainers, not the basketball shoes, out to go on a 3 or 4 mile run in the off season. Now, I had no idea about sizing or fit or stride when I would just get a pair of tennis shoes. I just would get a pair of tennis shoes thinking, oh, these will be good, they're non-skid, I can wear them on a floor and for a sport, mainly basketball. And I would wear those shoes out running. Well, come to find out, the shoes that I bought, the tennis shoes that I bought, were my standard size that I would buy in other types of shoes, flat shoes. And I didn't realize that for running, usually you want it to be not big on you, you want it to fit, but it helps if there's a little bit more room in the toes to run, because your foot, the motion is pushing your foot forward. And after that first year of running 3 or 4 miles pretty consistently throughout the week, a few times a week, I lost a toenail because I did not go up a size in just a standard trainer. So that could be like a little tidbit of information if you're interested in running, or if you feel like your shoes are uncomfortable or your toes are uncomfortable. I learned that I had to go up a size in my running shoes compared to my normal shoes. So that was my very first running injury that I had, was losing a toenail when I was about 16 years old, I think. And after some research and studying things out, I would buy shoes that were a size bigger, and these were shoes with support in them for the most part, until eventually when I was 18 years old, I joined a cross-country team, and I got fitted for a shoe. They looked at my stride, and they gave me a shoe which was a Mizuno trainer with support in it, and that felt pretty good for a while. I used it that year. They felt really heavy though. I just felt like they were heavy on my feet. And then the following year, or 6 months later, traditionally trainers with support in them say that you need to get new ones every about 350 miles. So as long as you're staying under that 350 miles, it should support you fairly well as you're hitting the pavement. But I used that first pair of Mizunos, and then I got the next generation of Mizunos. And then after that, I started to develop and I was doing a lot of miles, I started to develop some knee pain and eventually after that some hip pain. And that led me to doing some research because I really loved running. I feel like I was probably addicted to it to where it probably wasn't very healthy as far as like I just felt like I had to get my run in for that day. But I started developing some issues to where I would wear braces on my knees and I would be taking ibuprofen. And that led me to do a lot of research as far as like running and strides and posture. And I was really tired and sick of the knee pain and the hip pain that I was experiencing with my trainers. And that led me to discover Barefoot shoes, which were at the time Vibrams, which were kind of like the forerunners for Barefoot shoes. I ordered the Vibram Baquilas, which were meant specifically for running, and I loved those shoes. Those were amazing shoes. When I first got the shoes, I did experience different muscle pains that you might not experience with standard support shoes, just because you're using almost like a new set of muscles. You're using muscles that you weren't using before in your feet. And I remember specifically having extreme like tension in my calves when I switched over to the Barefoot Vibram Baquilas. And I love the shoes. It wasn't like it was painful. It was painful to a certain degree if I logged like a ton of miles in my Barefoot shoes. But it felt good. It just felt like I had worked out that muscle. That was only really the initial pain that I felt when I switched over to the Barefoot shoes. I also researched that the Barefoot shoes change your stride to where you're hitting more the forefront of your foot and landing on your toes than if you have regular support shoes, trainers. When you wear those, you hit more on the heel of your foot. And it just has to do with your stride and how you are handling the impact on your feet and on your knees. And so the Barefoot shoes change your stride a little bit. It's a little bit shorter, but hopefully it's a little bit quicker. And it changes the muscles in your feet. So I did experience a little bit of pain, which when I got the Vibrams, I think I had to sign like an agreement saying that I take full responsibility for any type of injury that I might experience, just because I think they're just like hyper conscious about the change in how it affects your feet and your legs, changing from regular support shoes to Barefoot shoes. And when I switched over to my Baquilas, I really got into the barefoot running. This was when I was about 20 years old. I really got into the barefoot shoes. And then I just decided I'm just going to wing it and I'm going to go full barefoot. And I've logged a few hundred miles just full barefoot, no shoes. And to me, I know that people think that probably sounds crazy, but I really enjoyed it. And I was watching one video of somebody talking about barefoot running, and they said when you're running barefoot, it's almost like a game where you have to scan the ground in front of you to make sure that you're not gonna, jump on any glass or run on any glass. So it's kind of like this game that you're playing as you're running. And it gives you like extreme endorphins as you're running, like making sure that you're not going to run on a rock or something sharp. You just are running and you're scanning the ground ahead of you. And I think that's really, I enjoyed it so much, but you also feel a little bit lighter, or at least I felt lighter on my feet. And I felt like it was just kind of like a fun adventure to do the complete barefoot running. I did buy multiple pairs of Vibram running shoes. I think I always got the Baquila, which they don't have anymore, but they have like a new version that's basically the Baquila, but it's by a different name. And I loved the barefoot running for 6 years. I wore the different Baquilas. I ordered a new pair every about 1,000 miles, which that's sounds so different than the 350 that I mentioned earlier with regular support trainers. I was able to log about 1,000 miles in my Vibrams, and I did keep track with one of the pairs of the Vibrams that I had. Like every day I wrote down how many miles I did in those shoes until I was able to wear a hole through the outsole, which is really thin. It's just like a thin piece of, I don't know, plastic or rubber or whatever it is. It's probably a mix. And I logged about 1,000 miles in every pair that I had. And I don't know how many pairs I had. I don't remember. But then after using those shoes and after getting married, my husband and I, we enjoy running together, and we talked about getting matching shoes because we thought that would be pretty cute. And so I feel like I was just probably super just confident of my running ability and skill that I thought, oh yeah, I can go back to trainers. I've already trained my feet. I can run on more on my toes now, and I know how to run, and I'll be able to be just fine in trainers. And so I got a pair of trainers. They were the Nike Pegasus, meant specifically for running. And I bought my first pair, and I had a little bit of knee pain where I would wear a knee brace, but it wasn't bad. And then I got my second pair, and that's the pair that I have right now downstairs. And and we will wear the Nike Pegasus. He has the Nike Pegasus. I have the Nike Pegasus. And for the past like 3 months, I have had on and off knee pain, which it's really annoying because I walk up and down stairs all day, and I'm not able to run. And then recently I've been having some Achilles tendonitis, and I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, I hate going through all of these issues. And before, when I had the Mizunos like a decade ago, I had these same issues, and that's what caused me to transition to the Barefoot shoes. So now I got a little cocky, I think, with my running. I felt like, oh yeah, I can transition, no big problem. And I feel like it's really hurt me because I have knee pain, I have Achilles tendonitis, just it flares up, especially if I do more than a couple of miles. So now I am going back to the Barefoot shoes. I'm going to be trying a new brand this time, and I'm going to be trying the Vivo Barefoot, which looks like a really great brand. I love their company, and I'm going to be getting those shoes in the mail and doing an unboxing. I'm not sure if I'm going to add it to the end of this video or just do a completely separate video, but I wanted to share with you guys and give a testimony of the different shoes that I've had and the reasoning for going to barefoot running. There's a lot of really good videos out there about barefoot running and how it changes your stride and your strike, how you strike your foot on the pavement. And it's just something that you might be interested in if you have had any type of running injuries. If you aren't too old of a runner, I read that if you are older and you try transitioning, it's a lot harder on your joints and on your muscles and your feet and in your legs. I also feel like there's a lot of people who might be interested in just running in general and knowing all the different options available out there. But I'm gonna be getting the Vivo Barefoot shoes that I'm really excited about trying. I've just neglected barefoot running for so long because I think I just got too confident and thinking like, oh yeah, I've perfected my stride, I've perfected it, everything that I need to know about running. But the injuries flared up again, and I know that the answer for me is not ibuprofen, not knee braces, not any type of a wrap on my Achilles tendon, but just having the no support, allowing my feet to react to the impact of the pavement or the ground, it lessens the blow on my knees and my hips a lot. So anyways, if you guys have thought about getting certain barefoot shoes, I've also read that the Merrell glove is really good. I know a lot of people really love the Merrell glove. I'm getting the Vivo Barefoot. I don't know if it's Vivo or Vivo. I'm getting the Vivo Barefoot shoes because I can wear socks with them. The Vibrams you can't wear socks with. Well, you can, but you have to have like the specific socks for those shoes, and I prefer wearing the socks with the shoes. And so I'm gonna be trying the Vivo Barefoot shoes. Hopefully I'll be able to log still about like 1,000 miles, and then I don't know, that'll be pretty exciting to see how many miles I can log in those shoes. Got the Vivo Barefoot shoes. Guys, I'm so excited to open these. They came today. They took about, I think it took about a week and a half for them to arrive. They came from, it's a UK brand, but these came from New Jersey. So, let's see, the box is really lightweight. I think on the order form it said the box was like 2 pounds, which is pretty light. Here's the insignia. Vivo Barefoot shoes that came. I ordered, typically I wear size 9 when I buy shoes that I wear that are just casual, but because these are running, I ordered a size 10, and you can see these have more of like a wider toe box. These are really lightweight. They look really beautiful. You can see they're super flexible, which is nice. I like how the bottom has like a honeycomb type of a design. It allows for a lot of flexibility, so that's kind of nice. These actually don't have as wide of a toe box as I was expecting, but you can see they do have a lot wider of a toe box than a lot of standard running shoes. These are the Primus Light Glowing Ember. So that is what I ordered. I like how there is this extra panel over here, because I remember in my Vibrams I would get that part of the toe really dirty really fast, and sometimes it would just show more wear right in that corner. So that's a nice little engineering design. And mosquito bites on my legs. We had a bonfire the other night and I got bit up by mosquitoes. So these look like they're a lot bigger than my feet, but my toes are actually like right here and there. So there they are. I'm gonna take them for a run soon. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.